Hey, good afternoon, everybody in Joyco Europe and throughout Europe and the UK. Welcome to Joyful July. My name is Ian Davis Emrys, and I'm here today with the beautiful Olivia to show you the Hollywood Starlet Bob. Simple haircut that's going to celebrate Joyful July. So throughout the next couple of months, you'll be finding your favorite artists on this platform, showing you and sharing with you some information for 15 to 30 minutes so that you get a flavor for what we do in the salon and how we bring Joyco and all the joy love to all of the people that we use and all the people that connect with Joyco. So I'm going to show you this bob. I'm going to do one half of the bob and then I'll continue afterwards. I want you to have a real flavor of what it is, but it's a basic short square box layer, which I'm going to be starting from the front. So one of the things we usually do is when we cut a bob is we normally start the back. This way I'm going to start with the front and then I can add graduation as I go through. If you have any comments or anything, then please list them. I know Wendy's in the chat. So hello, Wendy. And she will bring them to my attention and I'll go from there. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm all mic'd up and I'm working from the fantastic Yumi salon in Cardiff. This is where I reside and this is where I rent my own space. So I'm fortunate to be here today in this fantastic collaboration with the Yumi Salon also. So let's have a look at some of the comments. I'm in landscape. Yeah, I am. Oh, that's a YouTube. Hang on, Wendy. Stay there. Let me rectify that for you. How's that? That's better, right? Okay, we're in. Okay. So I'm going to start on this side of Liv's hair. Let me just adjust this for you. That's too much YouTube. So anybody who knows I've started my YouTube channel and I always film in landscapes. That's a really habit. You can blame Paul Watts for that. He's the guy who's got me filming in landscape. So I'm going to now start the haircut and I'm going to start at the front. So this is the section pattern. I've basically sectioned off the fringe in a small triangle. And then at the top, I've done two like teardrop shapes on the top of the head here for Liv. And I've sectioned those out of the way. Taking the hair back, and I'm just going to work forward with forward diagonals or backward diagonals. And I'm going to use my comb and my fingers to create the line that I want and the length. One of the things I'm going to do, what I wanted to do, but it doesn't really work, was I was going to show you like a point of view, but with when you go into portrait mode, it doesn't work in portrait mode. So I'll going to stay this way for you so you can see it properly. So I'm just going to put Liv's head slightly to the side. And then I'm going to go with this backward diagonal. Make sure the hair's properly wet down. Sorry, get my water spray. Keeping it damp as I work. It's really hot in this room, so it's getting quite dry quite quickly. Keeping it nice and clean. And I'm bringing it down on my comb. Neutral tension, so almost zero tension. And then I'm just going to bring my scissors in and take it off to a square line right on the jawline. Just there. So that's where we want to start. And then I'm just going to add in sections towards the front. So this is a haircut I do often in the salon. So it's one of the techniques I love to use. Again, I've used Liv. If anybody follow me on my YouTube, the Mindful Hairdresser, then you would have seen Liv on there. She's been on there quite a few, featured quite a lot on some of the work that I do there. And I'm really fortunate that we met here in Cardiff. Liv is a student and she's a researcher, and she has been terrifically helpful for me when I've needed a model. Always very cooperative. And she's came back from Sicily at 3 o'clock this morning. So she's a bit jet lagged or tired, but she still turned up. How cool is that? So the hair's been prepped. So what do I prep the hair with? So Liv's hair's in really, really good condition. So I went with Defy Damage because it's already in great condition. There's no color. There's no chemical treatments on it. It's completely natural. There's a natural wave in it. She's just come back off holiday, so it was a bit dry, demoisturized from the sun and from the sea, and just good living really. So I use the fire damage shampoo to cleanse and prepare, and then I use the new Inner Flash just because I want to get that really soft, supple, instant result. Inner Flash has been a revelation to me since it's come out. My clients love it, and I was just telling Liv about it earlier, some of the experiences I've had with my clients who've taken it and they've used it 1 or 2 times and they can't believe the difference in their hair. So it's been a fantastic product to use. And so then I prepped this hair with that, and then I've just used some of the Defy Damage protective shield as a cutting tool. So it's a really soft, creamy product. It's going to keep the hair in great condition. It holds the moisture for me while I'm cutting, and it just gives the hair a bit of density and softness. Otherwise, with curlier hair, it tends to fluff out, but this will stop it from fluffing out so much. The Defy Damage protective shield is really, really good. So, so that's my tip for when you're cutting curly hair or wavy hair in this instance. And again, keeping it quite damp as we go along. So just cutting backwards, backward diagonal, neutral, down towards the jawline. And I kind of want to get it to be a soft styling shape. In here. And it was really good because I haven't seen Liv since she's been on holidays. And she did say to me when she came in, this has been one of her favourite haircuts. Is that true? Yeah. It is true. It's been one of her favourite haircuts, so it's really good. So we've got the shape in here. And then I'm just going to take one more section till I get behind the ear. And then I'm going to use a slight graduated shape from there. So if I don't need the hair, I'm going to brush it away. Take it away nice and clean. Comb it down using my comb on the head. And you can even come in freehand and cut freehand. And the product's helping to hold the hair in shape for me. And once I get behind the ear, that's when I'm going to start with a bit of connection and some graduation. So I think this is like one of my favorite haircuts, how to connect. Is taking a slight bit of the hair from in front of the ear, using this as my guide, using that as my guide, and then I'm pivoting. So I'm moving the hair so slightly outwards, not straight round, but slightly outwards. So I'll take you right around there. And then keep my line down and out, over the top, and then just make my connection nice and softly. So it's running this way. The shape will just be this type of shape. So it's rounding off. So when I come up, it'll kind of just do this with the weight and the graduation lifting out this way. It's really cool. So again, bringing some connection to it right the way through. And I think that a lot of clients would be open when you speak to them about how products are used, especially things like Defy Damage, Inner Flash, which I said has been like a revelation to me and my clients. How long it lasts, the longevity of the product. It's such a massive game changer, I think. And that and K-Bond 20 have been incredible. So just following the line through and keeping this graduated shape. And as I work towards the center, the graduation gets heavier and heavier. So you can see the shape developing. And then when I refine it, I can just refine the shape in, and I'll be taking this corner just slightly off, just freehand, and then you see the line dropping. So it's a cheeky little shape. But if you remember those kind of Hollywood starlets, from the times of the black and white movies, King Kong and stuff like that, then this is kind of the haircut that I kind of emulate from like the 20s and 30s. Normally it would be styled by setting it, but this way we can leave it dry naturally, we can blow dry it smooth. So it has variation, it has like flexibility. Again, outwards. So I'm turning this around so you can see how my fingers are right out. So I'm outwards, but still flat. So creating graduation by having lift. It's a low graduation, so it's below 45 degrees. So that way, it's maintaining the weight. So remember, graduation is anything that is under 90 degrees. And so in between 90 degrees, which is straight out to the head. So a nice way to think about this, hair comes straight up from the head, it's 90 degrees. Then as we pivot around, anything comes out at square is 45, and anything below that would be like low graduation. Anything above that is high graduation, where we build weight. So that's the difference between graduations and layers, and that's a simple fundamental of hair cutting. And again, sadly, it's often ignored. So I'm bringing this through with Liv. Again, holding outwards, head slightly down forward, and then just graduate the shape. And I promised Liz I wouldn't get carried away with the adrenaline of being live and cut too much off. So I'm being really, really disciplined and sticking to my word. So we kind of like the length, Liv, don't we? Mm-hmm. So it's already a good length. So we kind of just want to maintain. This is like a maintenance haircut. So, you know, it's somebody I want to work with again. So it's really important that if you've got a really, really good model or a house model or somebody you really want to work with, is that you listen and you do exactly what they want, so they'll come back and trust you. I think that's the main thing. So, you know, I've done Liv's hair, as I say, a few times, especially for my YouTube channel, the Mindful Hairdresser, and that's how we got to know each other. When she came in, you came into the salon, right? That's when we met, yeah. So Liv came to the salon. I just like, were you waiting for a friend?
I just wanted to know whether you do bobs.
Oh, so I didn't know if you do bobs. I said yes, I could do you a bob. Yeah, exactly. So it's been, and so it's probably that's maybe a year ago, something like that, about that, maybe. Yeah. So maybe a year ago, maybe, and yeah, I've been very lucky, and Liv's also got some cool friends that I've also used as models, and they've been great too. So she's been a great resource for me, and I like to listen to what she's been like coming back from Sicily. So Alberto, my colleague in Italy, he would be pleased to hear you've been to Sicily and done that. But also, you can look out for Alberto, because on July the 16th, he'll be doing another lunch and learn, and he'll be spreading some more joyful information. And he's somebody I could listen to Alberto all day. I love his accent. I love his enthusiasm. But it's another lunch and learn, same time, I believe, at Central European times, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the UK, and that's July the 12th. So don't miss Alberto. He is really a shining star of the Joico team. So I'm just following this all the way through. So let me just show you what I've done at the back here. So you can just see, I'm just taking these diagonals right across, and this is how I'm kind of following it all right the way through and keeping the shape. And like I said, I want to create this kind of this soft line, which is just cut through this way. So it's really soft. And then I'm going to connect the top. As I said, I'm just going to do half a head, and then I'm going to show you the kind of result that we get with it. And then I'm going to connect this layer into the rest, and I'm going to do half the fringe as well. And then it'll be done. It's kind of a simple haircut, and you just repeat it. That's a great thing. You just repeat it on the opposite side. So again, bringing it down and across. I'm going to pivot outwards, elevate. So this is a low elevation. It's below 45. So all you need to know is it's a low graduation, and I'm going in towards the center of the head, into the center of the nape. Keeping it super clean. And you can still see the little bit of graduation, which I want to keep. That's why I'm going to refine that in just a shake. So one of the things you'll notice is as I'm coming to the center, as I come to the center here, it then transfers right across to the opposite side because I'm working on a diagonal. And so when you get to the other side, you'll find you have less hair to take throughout the center panel because you've already taken some of the weight away. So that's how I try to transfer the weight across. So again, down, elevate, pivot out, and into the nape. And I like to use small scissors for this. These are about 4.5 inch scissors, the small scissors. These are my wings, and I usually use Yowie scissors, who I have a good relationship with, for my scissor supplies. And I use a really flexible Sessibon comb as well. I find that really helps. A lot of people like YS or other scissor brands, but I've used Wings for years now, and I think for detailing and for making the work really accurate, I think there's nothing like them. They're super sharp. They're really good as far as the price point is concerned, so they're really good scissors for that. So everybody asks what scissors to use, so especially on YouTube. So just finishing that line, you can see the shape now where it's come in there, but it's kind of like I said, that 1920s Hollywood Starlet Bob. So once I've done that, I'm going to release the top, and I'm going to just put a little bit of graduation for this, but really soft. It's almost a layer actually. So I'll take this section and I split it in two. So from just above the crown and just behind the ear. This way, and separate the two. And I want the ends to be soft. I don't want them to be hard or I don't want them to be heavy. I still want to create some lightness in there. So how I'm going to do that, then I'm just going to comb down, starting just behind the ear, and then straight out from the head, and I'm just going to take off this softness to soften the edge. There's multiple things you can do because it's wavy hair. You can actually blunt cut or club cut, just like I'm doing, or you can create more texture and softness by point cutting. But if you do point cut, then make sure that you're point cutting really deeply. So you're going right in and not just nibbling away. You're making it deliberate and pronounced to make the point cutting really work for you. Sort right out, pulling back towards my guide to maintain the length towards the front. So I'm over directing backwards. Nice deep point cutting. All the way through. And one of the best options, I think, with Liv's hair is to leave it to dry naturally, or you can use a diffuser. But you can also use a round brush or a smooth brush because it's just wavy rather than curly. And it actually does all of the above really well. I can make it smooth, I can make it textured, I can make it curly. It does whatever I want it to do. So I'm really fortunate to work with such high quality hair. So that just bevels the edge even further. So it'll just sit in. So when we come in, it's just going to sit into the line, which is really cool. So just one of those things, I'm going to work this backwards. So where I am here, and then I'm going to connect in to the front, which I've just done. Again, using deep point cutting or club cutting. It's up to you really, the result that you want. But with wavy hair, I always tend to do more of a textured shape because it allows the hair to move and breathe and actually give me more volume or more separation on the ends. And that's the kind of thing I want. Keep it soft. Not too much elevation. Be mindful of your elevation. And to run it this way. Over directing to the outside edge, not pulling towards the center, but pulling out towards the outside edge. I want the length in the middle at the back. So it's really important to plan it out first. So I knew exactly what I was doing. So I was planning this haircut out. Even before Liv got here, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to share with you. So I kind of really made sure that I was hitting all the levels I wanted to get to. And now you can see I've got this nice beveled edge and the softness of bob. And I'm obsessed with this sort of shape. I've enjoyed doing this. And when I first started cutting Liv's hair, I took it really short. So it was a really short one. So if you go on the YouTube channel, Mindful Hairdresser, you'll see it where it's way shorter. But I love the movement and texture that this shape actually gives me. So, and you can see it's going to start kicking towards the front, and we just pull these pieces out. And if you just left that dry naturally, that would be such a beautiful, soft wave. And it's just, oh, glorious. So you can see the type of shape I want, and it is reminiscent of like the flapper girls type of shape, you know, when they kind of, the 1920s, when they set and this kind of have these beautiful brushed out curls and waves in them. I really like the Marcel wave. And it's reminiscent of that, and that's where the influence comes from. So I'm just gonna take the fringe out, and then I'm gonna do a slightly, I'm take this hair away because I don't need it. And I'm going to cut the fringe so it's shorter towards the center, and then it's going to sweep outwards. So that's a really cool way to do it. And I can turn it this way. So I'll separate into two, pretty much central. And then I'm trying not to get in the way to show, so I can show you fully. So let's have a look, where are we? Here, right. And come down here and take a diagonal, triangular section in the front. I'll get rid of this, I don't need it. I'll come on this way so you can see it better. And then what I'm going to do is over direct. So I'm going to take the hair and then over direct to the center. So I'm really exaggerating and coming across the head this way. And then my fingers angle backwards, outwards, over the top of the other side. And I'm going to come in and just take that away. And that's going to give me the shorter piece at the front, and then it'll just automatically start going outwards. I think that's a really beautiful shape for this type of haircut. They're really complementary. It's only a small parting from a small fringe, so I'm just going to do it in two sections. Again, over direction, slight elevation, not doing it too flat, slight elevation to give me a bit more movement. And this time I've got my line, so now I can point cut really softly away and get that soft outside edge which starts to kick, which I think is really beautiful. But when it comes to refining this particular haircut, when you want to refine it or refine the fringe, then, or the bangs, as we like to say as well, is you can come over the top and you can do like a slice with the scissors, like a top slice, taking the top layer hair away, which builds another level of bevel, and it actually presses the fringe down a bit more and lets it kick out just that little bit extra. I think that's a really lovely one to do. With this, I've played around with this shape quite a lot, and sometimes I would take the fringe really short in the centerpiece. Not on this occasion, but you can do that and have a bit more of a strong bang. That would look really good. But I want to get this soft kick so it kicks into the rest of the haircut. I actually wanted to have a little kind of a wing effect. So I'm just going to soften that out. And then bring it down and ready to style. So you can see the shape and you can see this kind of really beautiful fringe. What do you think of that? Can you see it clearly? Because I think that looks like amazing. So look, that's really cool. And then the styling is literally lifting out, and I could definitely let this just dry naturally to be my preferred option. And you can see the softness. And again, I'm going to refine it, or I'm going to texturize it. And with that, I'm going to use the razor, the feather blade. So this is a tool I use all the time. I could do the whole haircut with this. This is the feather blade. And I work with this a lot. I know David Murray works with this a lot. It's just a really cool tool to use. So again, I'm following my sections, the way I cut the hair first of all. Take it backwards, and then I'm just going to do a bit of refining. And when I refine them, I'm just going to put this blade in very gently and stroke to take these ends and make them a little bit lighter, where I've put the new layer over the top. So where it's over the top, it can be a bit heavy. So this time I'm going to release some weight by just taking some of the top layer and softening them or separating them with the razor. And everybody tends to go crazy with the razor. You either see a lot of this, or it's a lot of like crazy stuff. It frightens me. So this way, you can use it a bit like a pen. You hold it like a bit pen, and you can just come in and just literally stroke in between and create space and dimension in the haircut with just releasing some of those layers to give it more softness. So this is just like something for you to do in your lunch hour, that you can jump on, a bit of inspiration for the day, of something to try something different, to look at hair texture differently and how you prep it, and to see how we can use different tools to achieve different results. So this is drying really quickly, which is now fortuitous for us. It's a good thing because we're coming to the end of the segment. But you can see I'm getting it to kick out. I love this shape. And you want the hair to breathe and you want it to be able to move. But it's a really cool shape. And it really suits Olivia. So I won't go too thick. Again, I'm just going to texture this through. So then we're going to talk about finishing and how would you finish. So I want to get a bit of hold in it. So I want to get something that's soft, but I want something that's going to make it breathe and allow the curls to hold. So I need something with a bit of hold. I need something with almost like an invisible hold. So what I'm going to use, and I'll show you in a second, is Joyful Styler. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my go-to products. I use it all the time. And when the hair's dry, then I will be applying a little bit of a humidity blocker just to maintain, just so that it still has that freedom to move. It doesn't get clogged up. It's super lightweight. And we're just going to get a really nice soft feel to it. So just finishing off and just letting the hair breathe. You can really see the line now there and that shape, which really suits Olivia. And then you bring it round and you can see that curved shape in here. So it's kind of this forward running shape, up and around. And the same with the fringe. So you see that movement in the fringe, and the fringe will match it because I'm coming from the fringe from the center outwards, and that's going to make it really soft. So then when I use the styling, I'm just going to use some of the Joyful Styler. Again, this is my go-to for this type of thing. It's clean, it's invisible, it's got like a memory hold to it. It's amazing. So it's one of my favorites. 2 little pumps, that's all I've used. Really concentrate, put through all of my hands, in between my fingers, and then just going to apply it mostly through the ends, because it's the ends I want to see the movement, and it'll encourage the movement. And the same in the fringe. The only thing I would say about Joyful Styler is to make sure when you apply, that you apply it when the hair is still quite damp, because that way you get the most invisible hold of it, and it looks really cool. That's the kind of finished result here. And then I'm going to go do the second side when I'm off air. So that's the inspiration. It's the Hollywood Starlet 1920s Bob. it's done with the scissors, and my recap is that they go from backward diagonals. I take my teardrop on the top, section that out, backward diagonals, cutting square on the jawline, and then making everything graduated and soft, pivoting outwards at the back to build a little bit of weight, but on a low graduation. Adding in the layer with point cutting, but creating a layer at 90 degrees, and then soften it with the razor. So I've used 3 different techniques. They're really simple. It's taken me like 30 minutes to explain it. In the salon, it's much quicker. And this is a really cool shape for Olivia. So, so I hope you enjoyed. It was great to share this time with you. Don't forget, more Joyful July, 16th of July, in fact, with Alberto. Alberto's going to be sharing his knowledge and his passion, which is always infectious. So thanks for joining, and hopefully I'll see you again soon on the road, or I'll see you in Helmand, or wherever life might take us. So thanks again, and thanks to Olivia. It's been great, and I'm going to continue this haircut off air. So have a great rest of the day and enjoy your lunchtimes. Bye. Stop that.